Hello Jet Nation, GreenBean back with you. Today we're going to talk a little bit about COVID-19. All right, Jet Nation. So, as you know, you get to know me a little bit. I like to be a little bit more fun in my videos and be a little bit more lighthearted as best I can. But I think it's important to at least open up the opportunity to have this discussion with you guys about our feelings on COVID-19. Now, obviously we all want the NFL season to happen, right? I'm in that camp. I am really hoping that things get smoothed over and that the NFL season can happen. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world since I'm a little kid. So obviously that's the side I'm rooting for, but I don't want to see a situation where people are harmed. I don't want to see a situation where on a less serious level, but that certain teams have more of an advantage than other teams. I don't want to see any of that stuff. I just want it to be done right. And if we do have a season, that it's as considerate of everyone's specific scenario as we can be. So just a couple tidbits. The NFL has talked about a few options to increase competitive equity is what they're calling it. So they will not. They're number one. They're requiring that all the teams remain committed to their specific state and county, rules, laws, and requirements and all that sort of stuff. So that's first. So there are teams that are in areas that are harder hit. The Jets being one of them, compared to maybe some other states that are already opening, like Florida and stuff. So if we didn't maintain a status quo across the whole thing, somebody like the Dolphins or the Bucks or somebody can start going before the Jets, Giants, Patriots, and all those guys can actually start. They would have to play catch up the whole time. So we want to be able to do that, and that's something that they're trying to talk about. But so one of the things I'm most curious about is how we're going to do this. So let's say that we actually start the season. And there are a few little add-ons that they're talking about, maybe making exceptions for the season. One of the things being allowing the practice squad to be active. Okay, so that way they're more involved, and they're even as opposed to not being able to be active on game day. So let's say the day before or something like that, somebody comes up positive or anything, the team isn't at an immediate disadvantage. You have guys that are ready to play. There's also been talk about expanding the roster by 10 players, and I have to say that one feels a little bit. That feels like a positive to me. I think the practice squad being active and then maybe expanding each roster by 10 players could really be a positive. This way, if anybody does come up positive, we have guys that are not coming off the street 5 hours before the team leaves to to travel for a game or something like that. But so one of the things I'm really curious about. So let's say we start the season and we're playing a game, or somebody comes up. Let's say a starting quarterback comes up positive. Let's say Sam Darnold for our purposes. The day before, Sam Darnold comes up positive for COVID-19 and now has to be quarantined for 2 weeks. When do they feel comfortable bringing him back in? And do other players that were around him, now do we have to quarantine the whole team or anything like that? So it's really, there's a lot of nuances here that I don't know how we're going to be able to get around unless there's a vaccine or something like that. So that's a concern I have, that if a player comes up positive for COVID-19 and they were all just practicing, doesn't that now put the other players at risk? And don't we now have to quarantine all of them? Because we know there's a 2-week incubation period, for lack of a better word, that we don't even know if someone's positive. They don't show any symptoms or anything like that. So there could be more little landmines inside the team, and then will another team, if let's say Sam Darnold comes up positive with it for it, will another team, let's say the Raiders, we're going to play the Raiders, and they find out Sam Darnold has it, do they now not want to play us? So what happens with all this sort of stuff? So I'm really curious, and I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on that one. Concern number 2 I have, and this is an interesting one. Look, I just said I want the season to start. I want it. I love the NFL. I love the games. I love our New York Jets. I want it to start. The season to happen, I want it to start. But let's say they're opening the stadium. Am I the one that's going to be the guinea pig? Do I want to bring my 12-year-old son and my 9-year-old daughter into that stadium to watch the game? I don't know, man. And that's look, there are times I think, screw it. Of course I would. And there are other times I'm like, look, I have a responsibility to my children, right? Like, I don't know all that much about this. Yeah, I see the news reports and all that, but I'm no doctor. I don't know how to, really, predict what's safe and what's not safe. You got people on one side saying it's fake, and you got people on the other side saying it's the scourge of our century. I mean, and there's all kinds of madness in the middle. So I'm going to shoot real straight with you. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm doing what I can to be safe, but do I want to bring my children into that game? Am I going to be part of the guinea pig group? And let me ask you, are you willing to be part of the guinea pig group? So like, yeah, here I am going, let's have the season. Yeah, I'm clearly 100% firmly on that side. I want the season. But if they asked me to be one of the guys to go in there first and let's see what happens, I don't know if I'm willing to do that, especially with my children. So this is a concern, and I know I'm not alone. So I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about that one without political bullshit, okay? Let's not get into whether or not it's fake or real. If you're into it, like if you're willing to do it, tell me why. If you're not, tell me why. Let's have an honest discussion without getting into if somebody likes or doesn't like a specific political figure or something like that. That's not what we're talking about here. So let's try to have this discussion. I would love to hear what you guys, think about that stuff. Now, what if they decide to, like states like Florida, Texas, I think, and maybe Arizona. Maybe there might be a few others, but they're opening quicker. So they're even inviting teams down there to try to, give them college campuses, to have their training camps and such. So are you into maybe them picking a few locations that all the games are played in? I heard that one being tossed around. That's an interesting one. I don't know. I also heard that they're considering having the games with no people. Oh my God, what the hell would that be like? I know the TV ratings would be through the roof. That much I can say. That's not necessarily an entirely negative proposition from the financial side of things. So would you be willing to watch the games with no people in the audience? Or what are they going to do? I heard they might pump in crowd noise. That just seems odd to me. So I don't know. If that was the way they go, is that a positive? Is that a negative? So these are some weird friggin' times, man. The truth is that us together, we're dealing with this as a unit. Like this is us. This is our society. We've never dealt with anything like this before. The last time was the Spanish flu. They didn't even have antibiotics yet. So that's how long ago this stuff, or maybe they did. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I know they didn't have friggin' internet. That much I'll guarantee. So they didn't have a lot of the informational capabilities. So that's how long ago it was. The world is a different place. We are dealing with this together. We don't know what to do. We're walking forward together in this thing. So like in 100 years, 50 years, they're going to look back at this. How did we handle it? So what did we do? We're going to be telling our grandkids about this shit. Or some of us already have grandkids. And I don't know what you'll be doing when we're all talking about it. You might not be here anymore. And I'm very sorry to hear that. I will miss you. Maybe I won't be here. Will you miss me? Oh my God, I'm friggin' flying off in outer space. What the hell's the matter with me? So, anywho, I think there are some really interesting wrinkles to this. And I don't know what my real thoughts are. I think that would be interesting if we picked a few centralized locations and just everybody played the games there. What if we all had training camps around there so there was no real traveling? Wouldn't that be wacky? I mean, that would be interesting. Then you don't have that jet lag aspect of the games and all that kind of stuff. So that could be interesting too. I don't know, Jet Nation. What do you guys think? I'm really sincerely interested into some of your thoughts. The comments that I get on YouTube and on Jet Nation message board forum, I mean, some of these comments are friggin' just excellent, man. The perspectives that some of you guys have are fascinating to me and just fantastic, quite frankly. So I'm really interested in hearing what you guys have to say and how you guys think it, again, without your political horse shit. Okay, we don't need that. We don't need that. Just your thoughts. Would you bring your kids? Will you be the one that's willing to be the guinea pig if they do decide to open it up? So they do every other row. Well, I don't know. Does that make you feel good? Do the masks? Or what if you wash everybody's hands, or they take your temperature on the way in? What would it take for you to be comfortable going to the games? So I don't know, man. I wanted to open this up for discussion. If you're uncomfortable talking about it, if you can't talk about it without getting your dander up, then just don't, and maybe you can pay attention and watch how the conversation goes. But anyway, guys, I'm really hoping that you guys are staying safe. Me, look where I am. I'm in the middle of the friggin' woods. I'm trying my best. It looks like a swamp. It's really not a swamp. It's a beautiful lake. I'm just on this side. And if you hear children, in the background, there's some people fishing, and there's some children jumping off the dock, swimming in the lake. So it's beautiful here. This will actually be my last video from this location. Well, I filmed another one about geese, so I don't know which one will be first, but this is my last day filming for Jet Nation in this location. I'm heading south. I'm heading into the Smokies next, and I will be reporting, for lack of a better word, from there. So anyway, I wish you guys safety, health, happiness, and I hope that I hope that you'll be willing to share your thoughts with us and see what everybody's thinking, and gauge our interest and our perspectives. Okay, all right, guys, go Jets, I suppose. See you later.